He was a trusted nursery worker who preyed on children where they should have been safest.
My child is in the room with a fully fledged paedophile.
Children too tiny to describe the danger they faced every day.
I don't understand how any human is capable of even thinking about these things.
Parents whose identity we're disguising, who will never know for certain what their children endured.
1 voyeurism ×5, 2 sexual assault.
Their agony made worse by Vincent Chan's silence. This is a detective interviewing him in custody. And although he's admitted all 56 charges, this was his response when asked to provide any detail.
Why did you place them? What was your intention?
Instead, police relied on video Chan had taken of his assaults on 4 young girls. But hundreds of other families have been told their children might have been targeted, leaving them in permanent fear of what their little ones saw, heard or suffered.
Do not say anything may help me defend if you do not mention when questioned.
Chan was arrested after a co-worker raised her suspicions. A subsequent police search of his digital devices revealed the true horror of his crimes, uncovering 300 hours of footage.
Welcome to Bright Horizons.
But parents who'd been promised a nurturing environment by Britain's 3rd biggest nursery chain had already tried to raise the alarm 6 months before.
Biggest flag was when we were at home. My husband raised his voice, I think we were joking, and our child crouched on the ground, put his hands over his ears and said, "Please don't be like Vince, please don't yell like Vince."
Even after a year, he was still crying and not letting go of us. It plays on your mind 24/7. What may or may not have happened to our son, about what he saw, what he was subject to.
It was only in May, 6 months after their complaint, that Chan was suspended and arrested in June for child cruelty. In September 2025, that charge changed to sexual offences. But some parents have told us it was only in October, 16 months after his dismissal, that the authorities finally made contact with them. The Met say they had to prioritise families whose children appeared on Chan's devices. They've tracked over 1,000 children who attended the school he took indecent images at, but can offer little reassurance.
As a parent myself, it's knowing that your child was in the care of an individual who we now know to be a paedophile. It's not lost on me that the impact of those families that don't know and there are no material leaves an unanswered question.
Bright Horizons say keeping children safe is their most important responsibility, and they're committed to learning from this terrible episode. But parents want them to be prosecuted, along with better safeguarding legislation.
Unless all of those things are put in place, the early year settings will remain a hunting ground for Chan and people like Chan for the foreseeable future.
He faces 18 years behind bars, but the full extent of the horror he inflicted may never be known.
And Rachel is at the court for us. Rachel, there's so much horrifying detail that came out during the sentencing earlier.
That's right, Charlene. And just to give you an idea of the litany of Vincent Chan's crimes, it took the prosecution almost 2 hours to go through all that he has committed over the past 15 years, from the taking of indecent images to voyeurism, to assaults on women who knew and trusted him, sometimes when they were sleeping, and most horrifically of all, of course, the assaults on the young children in his care. The judge here, John Dodds, KC, describing him and what he had done as utterly wicked, perverse, he said. Now, 20 or so family members of the victims chose to come and be here in court today as Vincent Chan was sentenced. Some joined by remote video link, but others were determined to be here. And they sat no more than 10 metres away from the man who they had entrusted their children to, some as young as just 2 years old, but who instead mistreated them, filmed them, and in some cases sexually assaulted them. Some could barely look at him, others brushed away tears as he was sentenced. but they were determined to have their voice heard. As the mother of one young child who was assaulted while she slept at nursery said, in crimes that in some cases were too graphic for us to go into here, she said her daughter was completely defenceless, reliant on those caring for her. That trust was profoundly broken. Others, through their lawyers, said they will never know what has happened to their children. They will always have to live with that. But what Vincent Chan has done has left, they said, a permanent ache in their hearts.